Harbaugh and the sign stealing stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So first of all, those that have been hiding under a rock, what's happened is there was a Michigan staffer that is accused of traveling to games and looking at the signs of the other teams, bringing back that information and utilizing it for Michigan during their game planning and during the game. Now, in the NFL, there would be no problem with this, right? Like you can advance scout. If you're sitting there, you're looking like, as long as you are not recording practices and doing those sorts of things, anything nefarious, you can go scout the team, figure out stuff. Oh, I see this or that, write it down. There's no advanced scouting in college football. That's number one. Number two, he's recording these things, bringing it back. So there's a little bit of gray area there. I have not heard anyone that has reacted to this say, oh my gosh, Michigan was stealing signs. That's the first time I've ever heard of that in college football. Mark Sanchez, I heard yesterday on Fox, everybody does it. Brock Heward, who played both college and NFL football, said everybody does it in college football.
Mark Sanchez played in the NFL too.
I understand. I'm just naming off these guys. Right?
Go ahead.
Mark Sanchez a little bit more recognizable than my main man Brock Heward. All right, just making a point.
2 AFC championship games. Put some respect on Mark Sanchez's name, my friend.
Okay, sorry. I think everybody understood. So I just wonder to you, first of all, I wasn't shocked. Secondly, I don't think that this is going to end up being like the nail in the coffin for Harbaugh. But I did find it interesting that he said publicly and on the record he has no idea what's going on, which I don't know. That to me is sort of where I'm like, really? I don't think the book should be thrown at him for this. I think a fine and a slap on the wrist, but there's the stuff that happened earlier this year with the cheeseburger and Harbaugh missing games that may compound the conversation. Where are we at?
That's exactly my point. So a couple of things real quick before I'll get to the accumulation of things, which was your point. And that to me, that's more the concern. All right. First of all, everybody tries to steal signs, but here's the difference. All right. By the way, not filming of practices of your future opponents, that's news to Bill Belichick. All right. I digress. I apologize for that. I really don't, but I had to point that out. All right. So here's the deal. By the way, no Tom Brady, no Spygate. How you doing, Bill? He's got way more Super Bowl rings than I'll do. I'll sit here and shut up while I talk. All right. Here we go.
Just beat the Bills, man. What you talking about?
Dude, the Bills are so up and down. They're like one of the best and worst teams all at once. All right, we'll stick to Big Ten football. My apologies. So here's the deal. Everybody tries to steal signs on game day. That's why you have multiple signs with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all this crap that are held.
Sure.
That some teams still do. And then you've got the 14 quarterbacks on the sidelines all given the signs because there's only one guy whose actual signs matter, but everybody knows they're trying to steal your signs. Here's the difference. That's day of the game, and that's legal, and that's understood.
Correct.
I've said before on this show, I don't care if you like a rule or not, okay? If the rule is in place, you got to follow it or get the rule changed. It says you cannot advance scout. In other words, you can't send somebody to a future opponent and try to scout them live. Now, does everybody try to steal signs on the day of the game? Yes. That is not a surprise, but there's a rule against what Michigan did. Michigan appears to have done it. Seems sure likely they broke the rule. Now, that rule in of itself, I think, what Harbaugh already had this year, 3-4 game suspension by itself, whatever the case may be, is appropriate. To your point, the accumulation of things is where he might get in a little bit more trouble. Now, I'll be honest with you. The NCAA won't get to this for about 84 years. So if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm more concerned about what the Big Ten does because they'll react quicker